So in the last video, we saw how to enable the fusion log to have more details on the problem of binding. We saw that the executable file is looking for an assembly, Ranorex Bootstrapper, and that it is trying in different directories to find these DLLs. It doesn't find the Ranorex Bootstrapper DLL because the Ranorex Bootstrapper DLL is inside the Ranorex runtime directory. So if I look for the Ranorex Bootstrapper, it is there. The C#, the .NET framework has a mechanism to look for the location of assemblies. So it is described, and the first thing to do is it has a mechanic to try to find what is the version. Then it tries to find the location. So it looks at the configuration file and the machine configuration file too. And we should see also this here. There is so here you see the application configuration file, also the machine configuration file which is used. And the machine configuration file is the highest priority. So if you put something in the machine configuration file, it will override the application configuration file, but this can impact all the system. This is to do as the last solution. And you may not be always able to have the rights to modify the machine configuration file. And there are different rules which are explained. So machine configuration file, it says in some place, settings in the machine configuration file takes precedence over all other configuration settings. Then it checks the GAC, Global Assembly Cache, and after it makes a step which is called probing. With probing, he has different things. You can add a code base element in the application configuration file. The problem of this is that if it doesn't find if the assembly is not found, the binding request fails. So it stops directly. And then it looks at the code base element in a configuration. If there is no code base element in the configuration file, the runtime probes the assembly using 4 criteria: application build, cluster, etc., name, culture. The private path attribute of the probing element is used. So what I didn't try the thing above code base and so there is code base. Maybe we can do this after code base. So he says the private path attribute of the probing element, which is the user-defined list of subdirectories under the root location. This location can be specified in the application configuration file. This is interesting. The point is that when specified in managed code, the managed code private path is brought first, followed by the path specified in the application config. The point is that when you use this, there is a restriction. The restriction is that the directories specified using the private path attribute must be sub-directories of the application root directory. So you cannot target a directory which is in a common place in the system. For example, if I put a framework at the root of the C drive framework, you cannot put this. The directories probed vary depending on whether the culture. So there are some rules after you can check with culture. Okay. So if we go to the probing element, we have it here. Probing element specifies application-based subdirectories for the common language runtime to search when loading assemblies. So it is not so easy to understand when you read this. So you have configuration, runtime, assembly binding, probing. This probing attribute must be inside this parent directory. So inside configuration, you have runtime. Inside runtime, you have assembly binding. And inside assembly binding, you must have probing. You do not need to add an assembly binding for an explicit DLL. You can just put it like this with a little more things around it. But so this looks like this. You put the name of the subdirectory you want to probe. And here the documentation is not so easy to read because it says parent element, but without specifying the order. So this means that the element that we want to add, the probing, must be inside all of this. And this is the case in the example. Configuration, runtime, assembly binding. The problem of this table is that it does not respect the order. So this is first configuration here, then runtime here, then first line assembly binding. And this must be put, but it doesn't break anything. It doesn't mean that you must so you just copy paste this value. I was wondering what is this, and just don't care. Copy paste this value, it will work. So I do it. So once again, I check that I still have the issue. Okay. I go to my file, and in the configuration, runtime, I will paste what is inside my clipboard. I prepared it. So there is a private path runORX runtime, which is the directory where there is my assemblies. It's quite useful when you see the number of assemblies. I save it. I clean the screen, and I run again. And the binding failure is resolved, and the process is started. And this is the end of this video. If I manage to shut